All I know is that Cooper Rush in his very first 4 starts in this league, it's the hardest position to play in the world, and it ain't even close. In his first 4 starts in this league, out of nowhere, with no experience whatsoever, thrown into the fire at Minnesota, he wins first 4 games and does something no quarterback had ever done in the history of this league. 4 straight games of 90-plus passer rating. We do QBR most of the time, but this is passer rating, 90-plus. Nobody had ever done that because it's impossibly hard. So he does that, and now he's 5th in the league in QBR, and you call him an intern. It's like the ultimate insult. All I know is it's working, and you say, can Cooper Rush get to 24? Who knows? He does everything asked of him. He has been remarkably, astonishingly clutch. Clutch.
If that's the case, why you argue with me that he's going to start on Sunday night then?
Okay, but you told me if Dak is healthy, he should start. Well, somebody's going to be real wrong here because Dak is saying, I'm 100% healthy. CeeDee Lamb concurs. He validates. He says, yep, the power is back in his throws. And then you saw what Dak did in the media period when the media was allowed into practice.
Yeah.
If we've got the video, he's throwing it left-handed.
Right.
Because I know what he's made of. I know what he is. He's mad, or at least miffed at the media for driving the Cooper Rush bandwagon. So he's jacking with the media here. When they come in, I'm just going to throw it left-handed just to mess with them, just to toy with them. So they'll all run to their computers and type, Dak's throwing left-handed passes. I guess he can't play.
No. Because this is what Dak knows. Dak knows that he checked Harvard, and then all of a sudden on IG, there's 75 million doctors. Well, Harvard said they didn't have that many doctors that signed up for their program, and neither did Stanford. So that's why he didn't do it. Because every person that was there and everybody on our IG would have said that they all of a sudden think they're a doctor. They think they're Dr. Neil Elitrosh or Dr. Andrews, which they're not. So that's why he did what he did. We're going to talk about this a little later. But Skip Bayless, if what you're saying is true, why you are, well, what indication do you have? What does it matter what indication that I have if Cooper Rush is going to start?
I just want to know, because I know what I know. I'm backing up what I say, but you say Jerry's going to do, there's no indication whatsoever that Jerry's going to do this. Give me tangible. Give me a fact.
There's no indication that he's not. So,
okay.
See, you know.
Well, give me one. I'm giving you 20 reasons why Cooper Rush should start.
What did Mike McCarthy say? We're prepared as if Cooper Rush is going to start.
Okay, but that's just gamesmanship.
That's gamesmanship. See, now I give you an indication now it's gamesmanship what you're doing.
Okay, well, is Mike McCarthy Jerry Jones? No.
Well, you won't put
You just say he's a puppet.
Skip, why won't you put
I'm not going to put do. I'm not going to bet against what I want.
Skip.
That'd be crazy. I hope that you're right. I don't think you're right.
Think about how this works. You bet the case to do. Dak doesn't start. I win, but you get what you want with Cooper Rush starting.
I'm not going to lose.
Exactly. That's my point. Because you know Cooper Rush is going to start.
That's just wrong-headed. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You said
you're just, as usual, just arguing out of both sides of your mouth. All I know is I want Cooper Rush to start. I fear they're going to start Dak Prescott, and it will be a disaster.
Okay, what indication that you get?
Okay. What indication do I get on what?
That Cooper Rush is going to start.
What indication? I don't have any indication.
You just told me that the man nobody in NFL history has won their first 4 starts.
Well, I didn't tell you. That's just a fact.
Okay.
He's 5th in the league in QBR. He's come up clutch every time he's been asked to come up clutch.
If that's the case, why would Jerry put Dak back in there?
I just read you the quote.
Why would he put him back in there?
I can't even believe Jerry said this. You're talking about blasphemy. Talk about a shot at Cooper Rush. Do we need that extra spurt? What are you talking about? Extra spurt? You've had it 5 times extra spurts. Well, every time you've been pressed, Cooper Rush says, I got this. But he does it unspectacularly. But he has been the answer man every time they have been challenged. Every time they fall behind. Every time they get tied, he says, I got you. Watch this.
Cooper Rush has never had to score more than 17. I mean, they won 16.
I want to see the opportunity when you're forced to score 17 or 24 or 31 or 35, because I think he's highly capable, because I've seen him do it before.
No, you haven't. You've never seen the opposing team get more than 17 points.
No, I've seen him answer every time that he needed to answer.
Oh, my goodness. The man, he answered 10-9. He answered 7-6. And now all of a sudden you say
He
every
answered
time
13-6 at New York, and that was when the sky had fallen.
Skip, the sky hadn't fallen. Skip, it was 8 minutes to go in the third quarter.
The Giants are 4-1 now. You said, oh, they're not very good. They're 4-1. Yeah. So he beat both Super Bowl teams last year. He went up to the Giants and beat them. And then he did something that Dak has rarely done in his career. He has now twice won games in which they didn't rush for 100 yards because they didn't rush for 100 against Washington.
So Dak has never won a game in which they hadn't rushed for 100 yards?
No, but it's I'm going to save this for a little later in the show because we're going to address this. But he has been pathetic when they don't run for 100 yards. It's his crutch. He needs it. This guy doesn't need it.
Smith, stop it, Skip. Stop it. Here's the thing. And this is what you do, and this is that's working in Cooper Rush's favor and working against Dak. Expectations. Dak has expectations. When you've been the starter for a number of years and you get the money he's gotten, there's an expectation that comes along with that. Cooper Rush has no expectations.
Okay, here are my expectations, and I have tried so hard in my life to love Dak Prescott. I've tried with all my might, and he has failed me and left me devastated again and again and again and again and again and again. And just last year, it started with Denver. Your Broncos come to town. I think we're pretty good at that point. We're flying high. It's 30-0 after 3 quarters. 30-0, and Dak winds up with a QBR of 23 because he had empty calorie yards in the fourth quarter. And then they go to Kansas City, and the defense rises and shines. It was sort of a coming out party. Hold my homeboy, I know he's having a bad year by his standards, but hold him to 19 points. And they get the ball 12 times in that game, Dak Prescott, and they managed to score 3 field goals, and he had a QBR of 11 on a scale of 0 to 100 in that game. And then let's just fast forward to the San Francisco playoff game. Dak comes out flat and lifeless, and they fall behind 23-7 after 3 quarters. And he goes empty calorie flurry in the fourth quarter and rallies back and got his QBR all the way up to 32 on a scale of 0 to 100. But they lost 23-17. And then opening night, I had some expectations, sure, for this year. He makes $100 million guaranteed dollars. And what happened on opening night? He has a QBR under 20 and scores a grand total of 3 points and gets hurt at the end of the game. And the whole world says Dallas is dead, dances on the Cowboys' grave. And I say, no, Cooper Rush is pretty good. In fact, he looked better in that game at Minnesota last year than Dak looked during the year.
Can I ask you a question, if you don't mind me asking? You say the Broncos. So when was the last time the Broncos that Cooper Rush started and the defense gave up 30 points? Okay, you say they lost. You said they lost the divisional round. They lost 23 points. They lost 23-17.
But you're not counting turnovers. They're lethal. When you turn the ball over, when you get sack stripped, when you throw it to the other team, it tilts the playing field. Cooper Rush is extraordinary in what he does not do. That's what you overlook. He doesn't turn the ball over. It runs efficiently, it runs effectively, and then when it's time to answer, he just answers.
Well, what about the takeaways that the defense got?
Okay, well, against L.A., they did. That's your one aberration game where they jump at it. Should have been 10-0. It was 9-0, and Cooper Rush can kind of just put it in neutral, and yet he played very well.
That's the only gear he got.
Oh, is it really?
He only got a little cruise gear.
Really?
He ain't got no gear 4, 5, 6, 7.
So he's got the 5th QBR in the league.
He'll 3-speed. Slapstick.
He's got the 5th QBR in the whole league, but he can only play in neutral.
Slapstick.
Really? Okay, so check this out. You told me going into the year that the Cowboys were pretty suspect at receiver because you got no respect for CeeDee Lamb, right? You think he's way, way overrated?
I do.
So I just looked up before the show. Pro Football Focus grades the Cowboy receivers through 5 games the 25th best group in the league. Somehow Cooper Rush has won 4 straight games. The offensive line in run blocking is graded 27th out of 32 teams in the league. Somehow they've won 4 straight games with Cooper Rush. The run game, just in total yards, ranks 15th in the league. Somehow they've won 4 straight games. Would you believe that the Dallas Cowboys in the last 4 games under Cooper Rush are 26th in time of possession? So it's not ball control. It's not eating the clock. It's making the play when you have to make the play to win the game.
Okay, you read me all those stats. Now read me where the defense is ranked. You keep telling me where the Cowboys
are. They're 3rd in points allowed.
And where are they in pass?
Is that historically great?
Whoa. Is that a historically bad? What your team is? Of course not. So where are they in pressures? Where are they in sacks?
They're number 1 in pressures.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. I first guessed it before you ever thought about it. I said we will go ultimately as far as Micah and the defense takes my team.
So if that's the case, it shouldn't matter if Cooper Rush is in or not.
It's the most important position in sports. You have underrated and undercut everything Tom Brady has ever done. Yet Cooper Rush is playing just the way Brady played when he was a first-year starter. And
see, think about what you just said. I undercut Brady, but what did Brady have? A defense like what the Cowboys have. But you didn't mention that.
No, I did. I did all that whole year. I get you.
No, I'm talking about now because you say I undercut him. But when the defense plays well, all you talk about is Tom. My thing is with that, give everybody credit. Give the defense credit. Give Malcolm Butler credit. Give Coach Belichick's defense for holding the two highest scoring teams. Both Rams teams were the highest scoring teams in the league that year. He held one team to 29 points below the average and held the other team to 15 points below the average. And all you talk about Tom, when Tom threw 441 yards and 50 of the yards came on the last drive. Give the defense credit when Ty Law had a pick six touchdown return and the defense shut down that offense.
I got it. He's a first-year starter. It's hard. Well, what did Peyton do as a first-year starter? He led the league in interceptions.
So you telling me if I'd have put Tom Brady in the situation in Indy as a true rookie starting day one, he'd have did better than Peyton.
Want to bet he wouldn't have led the league in interceptions? I'll bet you $1 billion.
One up, Skip. The man couldn't even beat out. The man couldn't beat out Brian Greasy, and he couldn't beat out what's the guy that played baseball? He couldn't beat them out. Drew Henson. But all of a sudden, you think he's going to be better in his rookie year on a team that had the number one pick in the draft, and he was going to be better than. Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. I'm right. You know it. He's the GOAT times 10 in this sport, and he was his rookie year. He was extraordinary. His first year starter.
No. You said his rookie year. Rookie year, he was on the bench.
I said his first year starting.
No. Peyton Manning didn't get an opportunity.